statistics to put what this government is doing into some context. £30 billion already slashed from the welfare budget, coincidentally the exact same amount that has been given to the super rich in tax breaks. 0.7% of benefit expenditure is all that comes out of the welfare stream. The substantial majority is paid in inheritance benefit and pensions. Welfare fraud is a very small revenue loss compared to tax avoidance. Conservative estimates say that tax avoidance outweighs benefit fraud now by 8 to 1, and it's not done in tens of pounds a week by people that are struggling to get by, but rather by the very rich who can afford to pay more but choose not to. And it's easy to target benefit scroungers in the Daily Mail and less palatable to attack the more well-heeled in society who knock a bit off their tax return or simply refuse to pay tax. Day in, day out, through this right-wing government of millionaires, they seek to demonise benefit claimants. But they have created a new tier in society, and that is the working poor. And now, with low pay levels, more and more working people are also reliant on benefits. Public sector workers too are being demonised by this government. But who exactly are the benefit claimants in this country? Because the other interesting statistic is this: 40% of those that process universal credit will also claim universal credit, making a large proportion of the public sector workers benefit claimants, particularly women, particularly part-time workers, creating the ridiculous situation where our members will be forced to sanction their colleagues. Just think about the implications of that. In the 6th richest country in the world, we now have soup kitchens and food banks. That is what life is like in this country under a government of uncaring millionaires, and that's why we have to stand up for ourselves and do something about it. Over 5 million people in work will also be claiming universal credit. And what this tells us, in the words of the Daily Mail, is that we as taxpayers are subsidising bad employers in both the public and the private sectors. Along with that, we are subsidising exploitative landlords to the tune of billions each year through housing benefit, and the government still tells us that the benefit bill is too big. The reality of the benefit bill is only 2.5% of it is paid in job seekers' allowance. The bulk of it is taken up housing benefit and pensions. The government's harsh regime on sanctions and conditionality tells you what really about. Pressurising the poor and the most vulnerable in society, and in turn increasing the number of violent incidents in our job centres, turning our members into public enemies for carrying out their low-paid jobs. Our members are not the enemy. The enemy is the government who engineered these policies. And as if they couldn't sink any lower, PCS have been made aware of a new practice this week: botherability, a frankly offensive move to push claimants into meeting conditionality by bothering them. This is the background to universal credit, and that is why the government must rethink its plans. My union is fighting back against all of this, and so must you. We're building a massive campaign against this government and its so-called welfare reform, raising awareness about what these changes really mean, and building alliances with disability groups, campaign groups, other unions, community groups, and anybody who is prepared to stand up and fight for what is right. A joint coordinated campaign, backed up by joint action, could defeat this horrible government of millionaires and their failed austerity programme. And just to be clear, we don't want less cuts or slow cuts, we want no cuts. Together we're stronger. We're not in it with Cameron and Ian Duncan-Smith, we're in it with anybody prepared to fight back and those that are too weak to do so. So solidarity, and let's stick together. Thank you.